Hi, this is Daniela Wolf with Bestie Life, the podcast, and this is your community to support you through the little and not so little events that make up your day-to-day life. From the I've got this moments to the I just can't moments. We are here to empower all women to find and develop the skills they need to find peace, balance, and the bliss in their busy. Through solo episodes as well as interviews with amazing women who share their journey and their story and how it works for you. I hope you find the inspirations to make you laugh, think, as well as maybe rethink what you thought you knew, and connect as we realize that we are all living similar ups and downs and don't have to do it alone. So excited for you to hear this episode, and thanks so much for joining me today. Hi, this is Daniela with Bestie Life, the podcast, and today I am so excited for you to get to know and meet Emily Rogers from the Leap to Lead. I have had the honor and privilege of getting to spend some time with her on her podcast and chatting beforehand and everything like that. So I'm really excited for you to meet her. She is a highly skilled transition and leadership coach, and she really has a passion for empowering individuals and organizations to reach their full potential. She's known for her genuine passion for helping others, and she offers a really supportive and transformative coaching experience that's going to empower you to create meaningful and lasting change in your life. So thank you so much, Emily, for joining us today.
Thank you, Daniela. I'm so excited to be here, and hello from New Zealand.
Yes. I know a couple of times we've chatted, we've been on different days completely.
Yeah, I think we are
again. Blows
again.
my mind a little bit. So can you share with us a little bit about your journey and your story? What led you to become a leadership and transition coach?
Yeah, well, I feel like it shouldn't be unique, but it kind of is in a way, because I am Australian. We are now living in New Zealand again, but I met my husband in New Zealand 20 odd years ago, and then his career in hotels took us into Asia. So I had a career in human resources, and we got to Hong Kong, and I could work very easily in Hong Kong as a dependent. And then we got to Mumbai in India, and I couldn't work easily. And then Delhi, I still couldn't work. So I retrained as a coach. Chongqing in China, the biggest city in the world no one's ever heard of, I still couldn't work. And so I volunteered my time. I did lots of different interesting things. But when we got to Taiwan, English was then the primary language. I thought, this is my chance. I'll go back to my HR career, and still couldn't get a job because I couldn't read the local legislation. And so I'd made the decision at that point, I really needed to do something different. I had to do something for me that fulfilled me more than volunteering my time, more than working with NGOs. And so I decided to start my own business, and becoming a transition and leadership coach, and the Leap to Lead is my business.
Awesome. So for someone who's not familiar with kind of how a transition leadership coach helps you, can you share a little bit about that?
Do you know, it took me a long time to come up with, well, who am I? What do I actually do? Because I was doing this work for people, supporting them return to work after having kids, supporting them get those promotions in their careers, supporting them to change careers, supporting them moving countries. I was doing all this work, but then I couldn't put a label. When people say, what do you do? Well, I'm a coach, but well, what do you actually do? And so I came up with transition and leadership coach, because I'm really about life and career transition. So whether you're moving countries, whether you're changing jobs, whatever it is, that is a transition in life, and dealing with change and the change processes, and leadership coaching, because we all want to lead our own lives. We all want to step into our true selves and live our best life. And so the Leap to Lead and being a transition and leadership coach, it all sort of came together.
Yeah, because it sounds like there's no one specific time where this might come into play, because we go through so many different transitions, whether it's graduating from college and getting a job, starting a family, getting married, kids are leaving, which is where I'm at right now. You know, there is always a transition, and we don't always know how to navigate it, because it's like we've always had our eyes on one set path, right?
Yeah. And I think what happens that most people don't identify with is that with every life transition, our purpose shifts a little, sometimes a lot, but it will always shift a little. And so it'll start to show up in your life in the way you're treating yourself, the way you're treating the ones you love, if that purpose is out of alignment with what you're actually doing. So understanding that transition happens, and it happens throughout life continually, and adjusting yourself to each one, it gives you the power then to take control of your life.
Right. Do you see a lot of people sometimes where they're like fighting the transition?
Yes, absolutely. I'm nodding, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I can see
Absolutely.
you.
Do you know, fighting the transition, it's the way it shows up that is the internal struggle.
Mhm.
And you know this yourself in the work that you do, and self-care and all of, and if you're not looking after yourself, if you're not doing the right thing for yourself, then something's out of alignment
Right.
in your purpose, or in the way you're balancing your life. Something's out of alignment, and you've got to tune into that. So that it's more of an internal fight that you're going through. You could be yelling at your kids more than you want to. You could be
Mhm.
snapping at your partner a lot, getting sarcastic when you don't mean to be. There's lots of ways that it will show up, and it's that internal struggle, internal fight, that once you can see that that's happening and you can sort of step back a bit, then you're in position to move forward again.
Right, because that's the thing. I think sometimes when we're in that place, it's hard to really take that step back and get the perspective we need to make
Yeah.
that shift and pivot, because we don't see the options that maybe someone
Yeah.
like you would help us with.
Yeah. And for me, it was literally, I lost the plot over, I think, spilt milk. This is years ago. I think my eldest daughter spilt the milk and I lost the plot. I was a raving lunatic, screaming. And it was the fear in her eyes.
Mhm.
And I suddenly, do you know what? This is not who I want to be. I
Yeah.
don't want to be overindulging on chocolate. I don't want to be neglecting myself. I don't want to be screaming at my kids. This is not who I want to be. And it was in that moment I sat down on the floor with the girls right there. They were probably 5 and 7. I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Mhm.
We sat right there, arms around each other. And I just said, look, I promise I'm going to change something. I will work out what's going on for me, and I will change something, and I will be a different person for you. And it started that journey for myself. And it was probably about the same time I started to understand I needed something more for me, and started my
Mhm.
business as well. So there will be a moment where everything just literally feels like it's falling apart, that you then go, okay, I have to do something different now.
Right. I love your story, because honestly, I see myself as well. Like I just feel that kind of connection to the fact that, I've been there as well. And I'm sure many of my listeners are nodding their heads and going, oh my gosh, yes, me too. And just to share kind of personally, because, we've been on similar paths and we've taken that own self-reflection on ourselves first and foremost. How do you
Yes.
take care of yourself, Emily? How do you find that time to nurture you?
Yeah. Do you know, there's a couple of things that I do every day, and some of it's new and some of it I didn't realize how important it was until I stopped and reflected. And the first thing I do is I walk every day. I
Mm-hmm.
make sure I get outside and I walk every day. And when we've lived in different countries, that meant exploring alleyways, meeting up with a friend and doing some walking. In Taiwan, I was fortunate I could drop the girls at school. My husband had took the car. I would walk home along the river, up the mountain to the apartment.
Oh.
And it was such a stunning way to start the day, and learning the local greetings and being able to be a part of the community. It was really, really special. Moving into Auckland, there's amazing places to be outside, and I make sure I get out every day. And I love meeting up with someone. I don't do
Mm-hmm.
lunches and coffees and that sort of stuff, but first thing in the morning before my day starts, meeting someone for a walk and talking during that process is really, really beneficial to me. But also
Mm-hmm.
having it on my own occasionally as well, to just tune into nature and meditate, reflect, ask the question, what is it I need to do today? And just
Right.
being with that question as I'm walking, and letting that unfold for me each day, rather than me pushing every day to think about what I have to do. So that I do that every day. Certainly water and hydration. I've always got a mug in my hand, but it's actually hot water. I learned living in very hot countries how important, and I only drink warm water. I don't drink cold water anymore, because of what I've learned living in Asia and the digestive system. So that's really important to me. But also I've started this year, I'm getting a bit older, wanting to take care of my skin a bit more. As soon as dinner's on the table, kids are done, dishes are done, before I stop for the evening, I actually go and do my skin routine before
Mm-hmm.
I sit down, before I do anything else, before I pick up a book, and make sure that I have time to do it properly, rather than
Right.
last minute before I jump into bed, and actually enjoy the process of cleaning my skin. So yeah, there's a few things I do regularly. and for different reasons and different things popping up in my life.
Right. No, I love all of that. And even though this is not totally the topic, I do got to ask. So the water, because I've heard people say they drink room temperature water. Is your warm water warmer than room temperature? Or when you say warm, you just mean it's not from the fridge?
It's warm. I probably do a third boiling water and 2/3 room temperature water. So it's warm.
Okay.
It's really good for your digestion.
Okay. I'm so intrigued. I love that part of it too, because that's part of our self-care. I got to learn all these things, right?
Absolutely. And, I think I came back at some stage and someone offered me a drink. So I'll have warm water, please. And they looked at me and said, "You've lived in Asia." Like,
Oh
it's
my
just,
gosh.
that's what everyone does. And I love it now.
Not
And I
even
can't.
lemon? Like a little
I do
lemon?
lemon in the morning.
Oh,
Absolutely. I
okay.
start my day with lemon. I didn't say that. My husband read an article when we were living in, might have been Hong Kong or Mumbai. So it was many, many years ago. And he read about the benefits of having hot lemon in your hot water in the mornings. And so we've been having that every day ever since. And I cannot survive without it.
Okay.
So that's another
Yeah,
thing
what
I
about
do.
honey? Can I put honey in that? Oh, that ruins it, doesn't it?
My friend is a well-being coach, and she recommends lemon, turmeric,
Mhm.
ginger, and a dash of cayenne pepper in your hot water in the morning
Ooh, all right.
before
I'm
you have
gonna write that
anything else
down.
to eat or drink.
Oh my gosh, you guys got to go write that down because I'm totally going to be trying that in the next couple of days. So I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Absolutely, it's really good for you. Yeah, turmeric and cayenne first thing in the morning. But yeah,
Mhm.
she loves it.
Awesome. Awesome. And that's the whole point of all this too. It's not just about following a set plan, but kind of taking those detours and pivots and learning new things. So even though this was totally off on a little tangent, I love the fact that those are the kind of things that you're going to try and take, and do on your own. At least I
And
am.
they are easy to do. That's the thing is if you like it, like I love the cleansing of hot lemon in the morning. And if you love it, it's easy to do. I mean, when
Mm-hmm.
lemons aren't in season, you can get those bottles of lemon juice in the
Yes.
supermarket. There's other ways to do it. You don't have to pay stupid money for lemons either.
hmm Exactly. Even though we're in different seasons, I think as well. So,
Yeah,
stuff that's coming out of season for us is probably coming into season for you and vice versa.
yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So, another part of self care that I always love to talk about is gratitude, because I think once we start to notice the good in our day, it kind of helps keep our focus there on a more regular basis. And so I always
Yeah.
like to kind of ask, what are some of the things that you would say you're the most grateful for?
I have my values next to my computer, and it's because I'm grateful for these things, and it's family, it's freedom, and it's continuous growth. But we play a game in the car every morning, and as we're driving to school, magnificent Monday, terrific Tuesday, wonderful
Mhm.
Wednesday, thankful Thursday, and fun day Friday. And we have to go around, the girls and I, and choose different things that we're grateful for, thankful for, or things we might expect to happen that will be wonderful today. And it's been a
Oh,
really
I
fun way
love
to
that.
start the day and focus, not worrying about tests or not worrying about what this girl said to me, but zeroing in on the good things that are happening in our lives. So it's been really, really fun doing that with the
Yeah.
girls. Again, it's something we started doing maybe end of last year, and just it's kept going. And Samantha got in the car. It's a Tuesday here today. She got in the car this morning. She said, "Oh, it's thankful Thursday." It's terrific Tuesday. Don't jump ahead.
But I like where she's going with that for sure.
She was ready.
hmm And that's the thing too. I think a lot of times we don't realize when we take care of ourselves, when we do these things for ourselves, the impact it's going to have on our kids, on our family, which, so many women and moms, we say that's the reason we do these things. That's why we work. That's why we do this, but by actually giving that gift of ourselves back to them, that is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And to see them then taking it, the eldest Jessica coaching the youngest Samantha, well, you need to put your growth mindset on right now, and you need to find a bit of thankfulness. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
absolutely priceless. And when you see it coming through, it's like, okay, my job's done. This is good.
Because they don't do what we say, they do what we do. And if you
Yeah,
walk the walk, they will talk the talk.
exactly. And now they're becoming teenagers. You really just pray that it's all, all going to stay there.
Yes, they will be under there somewhere, even on the days you don't see it. Trust
Absolutely.
me. But I've loved definitely this conversation, because like I said all along, I feel like, our next step is we're going to have to find somewhere in the middle to meet, because just, these connections that we make with other people through social media, through podcasting, that's where the magic happens. That's where we start to make these transformations in our lives and our businesses. And like you said, it's about transition. It's about growth. We don't stay in one spot.
No. And if anyone's feeling stuck and you go, well, what does it look like for me now? Just think about what your key strengths are. What are your 2 key strengths? And then ask yourself, how do I want them to show up in my life? And how do I want to serve others? And when you can just do that, then you'll start to feel direction. If you feel stuck, that will get you through. And just find that next right step and just take that next leap.
No, I love that. Okay. Rewind it if you missed that. Catch what Emily just said about finding your 2 key strengths and building from there. When you start with yourself as the starting point and not the end goal necessarily, start with your strengths. That's only going to be that much more powerful in achieving that goal for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are feeling stuck, then that will get you unstuck.
As well as working with you. So how can people find you? How can people work with you, Emily?
The Leap to Lead is me on social, The Leap to Lead, Instagram and Facebook or LinkedIn. And I've got a free strengths assessment if anyone wants to go and download it. It's at theleaptolead.com/guide, and the podcast as well, The Leap to Lead.
Awesome. Which I will be on in December, I believe,
December,
right?
yes.
Yes. So definitely check that out. All those links will be live in the show notes below. So connect with Emily, follow her, because you are going to love all the amazing things she shares as well. But thank you so much, Emily, for joining us today.
Thank you, Daniela. It's been an absolute privilege. Thank you.
Thanks so much again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please let me know any questions or comments that you have. Also, if you can please leave an Apple 5-star review so that this episode can be shared with more women. There's 2 quotes that I love. Alone we may be strong, but together we are stronger, as well as when women support each other, incredible things happen. So let's be stronger and incredible together, as well as maybe just have some fun along the way. Thanks so much and talk to you soon. Bye.